So getting goods, what that actually does frees up your energy, and it clears your mind, it clears your focus, your awareness, your ability to operate. So that's what I mean by being a reductive process. Getting rid of shoulds. I'm supposed to be doing this. I should be doing this. I'm not doing this enough. Stop thinking about that. An easy way to stop that kind of mental habit is to think about what you have accomplished. And you can do this just by writing a little list every night of the things you accomplished that day. You can also write a big life list of things you've accomplished. And what this does is it actually puts all the momentum behind you, and it sort of like pushes you forward, rather than having all the momentum in front of you pushing back. So it's almost like putting the thruster, right, behind you or in front of you. You think about momentum. I don't like motivation. I think about momentum. And an easy way to visualize momentum is the snowball effect, a little snowball rolling down a mountain, building up, becoming a huge, much bigger snowball, turns into like a massive snowball coming down, massive momentum, can't be stopped. So we want to think about what we've accomplished. We want to be grateful for what we have already, rather than thinking about what we're missing out on, wish we had. We want to think about what we're doing right, and not so much about what we're doing wrong. I know it sounds counter and think, oh, well, how would I fix these problems I have on them? Problems become perpetuated in your life by focusing on them. I'm still amazed at how things just work out when I stop worrying. As soon as I stop worrying, things seem to happen. Things seem to fall into place. And a lot of that comes down to when you lose your personal power, you lose your momentum. You're putting the shoulds in front of you rather than the alreadys behind you. And when you do that, it basically just depletes your energy. So your energy is focusing on this imaginary wall you're creating in your mind of this wall of stuff you need to do. You know, you're creating this in your mind, but it's not really there, but it's real in the sense that you're directing your energy towards it, and nothing's manifesting. Nothing's happening. There's no action being taken. Understanding what it is, the kind of man you want to, yes. Understand that. Figure out what the rules are that man follows. Exercise for this in the first book of Sexual Supremacy. But I call it EVR, Experience Values Rules. So you kind of work backwards from your ideal self to now, how do I live? Not necessarily what do I do, but how do I do things? How do I live? How do I interact with people? Not, I want this specific interaction to happen, but how do I want to interact with people? So it's kind of a shift in your thinking. And then you also want to kind of retrain your mind to, instead of putting the obstacles in front of you, putting them behind you. There really are no obstacles. There's no, there's things you have to deal with, but there's the idea that the universe doesn't want you to have what it is you want. That's not really true. What happens is, you think it does. You think that there's blocks, and it kind of perpetuates them. What happens when you stop worrying, when you stop dwelling on what's in front of you and the dealing with, is your energy is so freed up, because it's not being wasted on these imaginary problems. It's so freed up that you're just going past them. And then when you deal with something that's, some obstacle that's unexpected, you weren't planning on it, it's just, you just handle it and keep moving. And before you know it, things don't feel like they're taking forever. You just feel like you're constantly moving forward. Nothing happens instantly, obviously, but things happen much faster when this is how you think. So doing this sort of the gratitude and the accomplishment lists before you go to bed, or maybe on a Sunday, or whenever you have time. And then getting rid of all the shoulds and just focusing on basically the next step. What do I do next? What happens next? According to the rules I've developed for myself. And like I said, I have an exercise. Maybe I'll talk about that in another talk. But trying to think about what kind of rules you follow to be the man you want to be. Not get the things you want to get, but be the man you want to be. What rules does he follow? I have some interesting questions that I use to kind of help guys tap into the experience they want, the values that they would have to embody, and then the rules required to enact those values right now. So how to man? I think it's a reductive process. I think what actually is happening is there's fear about being the man you want to be. There's fear that maybe if you actually became him, he wouldn't be good enough. And then where are you at? And so it's like, oh, maybe my ideal self is not good enough for the universe. That's his fundamental fear. This illusion of separation from the all, right? That you're somehow separate and you have to earn your place in the universe. You're already here. You're already part of everything. You deserve to be here. It's not even a question of deservedness. So the way I think about being a better man is really getting rid of the things getting rid of the shoulds. So it's a reductive process. Get rid of the shoulds and focus on your accomplishments, your skills that you already have. Focus on what you've already done, and be grateful for what you have and who you are. So we're sort of putting the momentum behind us, moving forward, and getting rid of the shoulds that stop us and create negative momentum. And so that's how to be a better man. Now, what that actually specifically, like what your rules are for life, that's up to you. No one can really tell you how to be a better man other than giving you some sort of conceptual framework to help you move forward in your life. And so that's what I'm trying to do here.